Hello everybody, welcome to this guide and tutorial for the golden shot. Difficulty level is medium and I'm going to show you 6 shots here on how to get some of the chests here in this version. This hole that we are playing now, we have played this one before, so it definitely helps when it comes to dialing it in. New for this time around, you can see on the top here, even though I'm looking at the side, but on the top you can see the 2 columns, one to the left which is wind, so the wind that is displayed on the shot that you're taking, and then on the right side you do have the rings. So for those of you that do want to make it as easy as possible, don't using any help tool or not want to use any math in your head, then you can just look at the left page, take a screenshot, write it down. So if you have 3.0 in wind, you adjust 2 rings. 3.2 in wind, you adjust 2.1. We're gonna get to that later as well. Before I start rolling with the video, do not forget to subscribe to the channel, be a sub, hit that bell button so you get a notification every time there is a new video or a live stream. Also, if you do want to get personalized text guide for any tour in the game, let's see you struggle with the tour 7 for an example, or tour 8, or whatever tour in the game, you can order personalized text guides on patreon.com/golfclashtommy. Also, training session packages are available, check them out. So done talking about that and focus on the golden shot. We're gonna press here, we're going to take a look. We're going to play a course of the Santa Ventura, and this is a very good option for those of you that do need kingmakers. I'm not just saying to those of you that might just want to have an easier golden shot, but there is a lot of clans out there that do grind a lot, and when you're grinding, especially in the higher tours, a kingmaker or 2 is very valuable to have in your bag. And that is also something in tournament that if you're not investing in buying and the win 4, win 5 balls that comes from offers in Golf Clash, then it's good to have a couple of kingmakers to use as power 3 balls. So we can win the Onyx chest as a hole-in-one chest. We do have the Fire chest as the yellow ring, Scarlet chest as the red ring, Topaz chest as the light blue ring, and Azure chest as the dark blue ring. If you do have if you do want more information and have more questions about the golden shot, press the question mark on the top right. You can see the frequently asked questions. Also, if you do need any help from the support, press contact us, and then you will be able to send in a ticket to the Golf Clash support. So we're going to start by taking a look at the adjustment here. Golden long iron, max distance with a 20% over adjustment. That is also 1.5 per ring, and that is the 20% over adjustment are included in the 1.5 per ring, but also here on the top with the wind and the rings, the 2 columns here is also included. So once again, if you do have a 3.0 miles per hour in wind, you adjust 2 rings. If you have 5 miles per hour, 3.3 rings. And you can see here if you see the question mark on the top right, you see on the top left on that little rectangular box, you can see the wind is between 3 to 5. So the wind is not going to be lower than 3, it's not going to be higher than 5. So therefore I started at 3 and ended at 5 on the column up there to the left. So we're going to take a look at the landing position here, and the landing position is going to be pretty easy. We're going to look for the fringe. You can see the yellow ring at the bottom should be at the beginning at the fringe, and then the rest of course on top there. And this is going to be the starting point with any type of wind. You're not going to change that in any form. And the thing that you're going to try to do, and that is very tough, is that you're going to want to have the ball guide pointing straight at the pin. That is very tough as there isn't that many references on the green, and especially when the green is very bright, it's very hard to do that in a good way. So focus on getting the yellow ring at the correct place, and then you try your best to get it correct at the pin. Don't spend too much time as the clock goes a little bit faster in the golden shot. So we are going to take a look at the video, and as the video that we're having, we are going to go over the shots here, and after that we're going to summarize with what I believe is going to be the good spin, the best spin. So here you can see I'm starting off by using max backspin here. I'm using a slight higher landing position. I'm using a +1 as you can see, and we'll also look at my yellow ring. That's a little bit too high up, and I'm gonna come to why that is not good. later on in the video. So I'm using 4 bars backspin and 4.5 bar backspin, and this is going to work. But once again, we do want to find the same landing position all the time as for any type of wind, and therefore moving up our target, so we start at +1 and are like that far up from the fringe, is going to make it's going to make us going in between clubs when we do have headwind, which is major disadvantage while playing this golden shot. So we do want to stay with the max distance Goliath all the time. And you can see Kingmakers, very valuable. 3.3 in wind here. We're going to do the same here, unfortunately. But we learn. We learn all the time when we're playing. So we start a little bit too high up. I noticed that, you know, I came in a little bit hot on the first try. And I also had one shot with headwind that I didn't record because I completely messed that one up as I had to overpower. And I didn't want to add that one in there because I think it's easier to explain and then focus on the better shots here as well. But that is the important part. Once again, with the landing position, using same spot all the time to get to where we want to. The only thing we do want to tweak is the spin. But here you can see we're using a little bit too much backspin. 4.5 bar backspin is too much. And that's also something that we're going to come to in the end. And I think the spin adjustment is always going to be a little bit tricky. It doesn't matter if you play the one for hard version or you play the one for medium version. As for, it's still going to be the same. Like we can get it close towards the pin, but will it roll too fast past, or will it be too short? We do want that if we miss our shot, we should be having a red ring as a minimum if we do make a bad shot here with the landing position. 4.9 gives us 3.1 in rings, and with a 20% over adjustment using max backspin, you can see once again we're going to get this one short. And these 3 first videos is basically like a learning curve. Okay, we went first too far and then we went too short, so we are not really there. We are not having the correct landing position. We are not really having the correct spin adjustment either. So still we're getting some chess, and that's important that we are still getting some chess even though we are not super dialed in there. So now 4 bars of backspin. Look now at my landing position. I'm using the bottom of the yellow ring by the start of the fringe and then trying to aim directly at the pin here. So 4 bars. And then we're going to not use any side spin whatsoever. Using in this one 3.1, this gives me 2 rings. So as you can see, when we are in between, as for the column on top there, we're going to choose the one above. So if you're 3.1, we're choosing 2. If you're 3.3, we're choosing 2.1, and so forth. We have a good speed here now, using the getting the yellow ring, which is good. So we're getting yellow ring, we're getting the distance in, but now we're not having like the direction isn't super. So now we need to tweak that one a little bit and need to start to adding some side spin depending on obviously what type of wind that we're having. So now we have a straight tailwind, and now we shouldn't be having any side spin. I'm using 4 and a click bar backspin. I'm not using the full backspin. That is important as we otherwise gonna go short. So 4 and just a click, aiming directly at the pin. And when we have a straight tailwind, that also goes for straight headwind. We don't have to use any side spin, as we need to be able to rely on our eyes getting us there, having to adjust directly at the pin. And we are taking our shot, perfect shot, and we're going to get this one close. Not in the hole, but it's going to be close. And you can see the distance. The distance is absolutely perfect. We are like the perfect height with our distance. So 4 and a smidge bar backspin with a straight tailwind is going to be spot on. Getting some Spitfire cards, getting some Kingmaker, and I would say the Kingmaker is the most important part, but of course getting some nice epic cards is going to be very valuable. Here you can see why we do want to play with our target a little bit further back than we did in the start with some headwind. It's because we're otherwise going to be in between club. This is going to be on the edge, or at the absolute edge here, using 3.5 bar backspin, and I'm not using any any side spin whatsoever. The 3.5 is going to give us 2.2 rings. And we hit the ball perfect. You can see what came in just in maximum position. And I would say if you do have a straight headwind shot, we would need to take off a little bit more backspin. So play down with like 3.2, 3.3, not really 3.5 in backspin, just a little bit less to be just spot on. We're getting it close though. I'm not gonna be mad about that, but just to tweak that one just a little bit. So now in the end we do have a 3.4, we do have a crosswind type of a little bit of headwind, but mostly crosswind. So when we do have a crosswind, we do want to go with 3.5 bar backspin when we do have some headwind. But when we do have more crosswind than headwind or tailwind, we're going to have to play with 3.8, like a little bit less than 4. And also in that case, want to play with 1 bar of side spin to the left to compensate for the push that we're getting from the crosswind. So once you find the landing position, you add the spin and then you take your shot. And of course you're going to have to adjust for the reins as well. Getting it perfect there, coming in very nicely, and we end this guide with a perfect little hole-in-one. So we learned a lot by going back and forth a little bit with both landing position and spin. But there you can see what a difference it makes by using just minor tweaks. So we're gonna open the chest and see what we get here. Some extra mile, we do get some quarterback cards and also some B52, and then in the end 8 kingmaker cards, which is very valuable. So let's summarize this one and take a look at the spin adjustment first and foremost. Tailwind, 4.1 bar backspin, so a little bit more than 4, not maximum, and we aim straight at the pin, as according to our normal landing position. Tailwind, crosswind left to right, 4 bars backspin and half a bar of side spin to the left. And then we do have a tailwind, crossspin right to left, 4 bars backspin, half a bar of side spin to the right. So of course the side spin is going to change depending on if it's windy to the left or to the right. Crosswind left to right, 3.8 bars backspin and 1 bar side spin to the left. Here we add in 1 bar, as with straight crosswind instead of like an in-between crosswind, tailwind or headwind is of course going to affect more when it push ourselves to the side. 3.8 bars backspin and 1 bar side spin to the right for crosswind right to left. And headwind crosswind left to right, 3.5 bar backspin and half a bar side spin to the left. Headwind crosswind right to left, 3.5 bar backspin and half a bar of side spin to the right. And then last but not least, headwind, 3.2 bars of backspin. So we're going to take a look at the landing position here again, once again. Yellow ring, the bottom part of the yellow ring just as at the start on the fringe, and then the rest of it on top there, aiming straight at the pin. We're going to use the chart on the top here. It's going to be the easiest way for you to get the correct amount of rings. And sure, if you're using some form of help tool like an application or something like that, you can use the max distance with a 20% over adjustment. You're going to get the same result as you're getting up there. And in the end, everyone, please let me know in the comment section what you got in your chest. And also, if you do have any comments, questions, let me know there as well. Thank you so much for watching and good luck in the golden shot.